We humans have a divine seed within us. There's nothing, you have nothing to fear. All right? We've been told to be fearful of the spiritual realm. We've been told to be fearful of demons. We've been told to be fearful of dead spirits. But we are giants in the spiritual realm, ladies and gents.
Do not be fearful that you're selling your soul to the devil by seeking to connect with celestial forces. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are doing lovely. I'm excited to get into this topic today. I'm going to be talking to you guys about lunar magic, its potency. I'm going to be talking to you about its effects, its psychological effects. I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of working with lunar magic. Now, I got my notes on my phone, so I'm going to be looking at my phone and be looking at the camera. So let's just go with the flow. All right. So in regards to working rituals, you got to consider that when you're operating magic, the more effort you put into it, the more of a psychological impact it has on your mind, which essentially attunes you to whatever it is that you're seeking to manifest. All right, so when you incorporate different components, such as planetary influences, lunar influences, sigils, specific planetary hours and days, so on and so forth, you got to consider your magical operation like a microscope. All right. The more layers of glass that you put into it, the sharper the focus gets, the more precise it gets. And this precision essentially is the power of your consciousness. This is what you're focusing. All right. So considering the lunar cycles, we got 4 lunar cycles to work with. Essentially, you have the new moon, which is the dark moon. This is when there isn't light out. The moon is hidden. Typically, this time is used for darker rituals, either, summoning demons of the darker realm. This is used for banishment, if you're seeking to get rid of something. All right, this is essentially to release yourself. This has if you really think about a dark moon, it's got a dark connotation. You're not welcoming things into your life, you're ridding yourself of it. And when you're working with darker entities, you use the dark moon out of honor for them, out of respect for them. All right? Now, moving on, you have a waxing moon. A waxing moon is when it's building up to a full moon. Now, this phase of the moon can be used to build momentum, so that you can actually launch something. There is no rigid structure to it, but one thing to note is that the greater the effort you put, the greater effect on your reality it will have. Okay? And what I mean by this is that I'm going to give you an example. When I am seeking to manifest something using magic, first of all, I'm not going to indulge, or rather, I'm not going to immerse myself in a magical operation for something minuscule, for something mundane. If I'm going to use magic to alter my reality, it's because it's going to be something terrific, something enormous. All right? And I'll devote an entire month. I'll be in ritual from the full moon to the next full moon. So I'm working through the entire month, 28 days, in ritual, embedding what it is that I'm seeking to manifest deep within my consciousness. When you are attuning yourself to whatever it is that you're seeking to manifest, it is changing your vibration as a whole, not only emotionally, but spiritually, mentally. Therefore, it ramifies in altering your external reality. You change your inner reality, and your external reality changes with it. All right? So now, full moons, to be frank, are possibly the best time to do any sort of magical operation because of its potency. And now, we cannot negate the effect that the moon has on life, period. First of all, it pulls the tides of the water. We ourselves are similar to the planet. We're around 70% water. Of course, the moon has an effect on us. I'm sure you ladies watching this have experienced becoming synchronized with the lunar cycle in regards to your menstrual cycle. That I find very interesting. Okay, and this is a phenomenon that happens to many women, if not the majority, if not all, at least once in their lifetime. We cannot negate the fact that the planetary systems influence our reality, and we can harness these energies, not only to attune ourselves energetically to something that we're trying to manifest or alter energetically, but we can harness this for blessings, for charging ourselves, for cleansing ourselves. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of advanced magic or anything of that sort, but this is more so a video catered to beginners, those seeking to feel divinity through the use of lunar magic. All right? I'm basically describing this information to you out of experience. At the age of 16, I began performing a ritual that is called drawing down the moon. It's a Wiccan ritual, and it's essentially a ritual that entails drawing down the goddess. The goddess is a term that is highly associated with the moon. I mean, we have the Roman goddess Luna. There are a multitude of lunar goddesses that I'm not too concerned with naming. Nevertheless, I personally associate the moon with feminine energy. And when I was young, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I felt inclined to talk to the moon, to call upon the lunar energy as a goddess. All right? And not that it has an anthropomorphic form. It's just a feminine energy. So in order to tap into lunar energy, you have to intentionally seek to build a bond, a connection with it. It's kind of like going into nature, ladies and gents. You could go into the ocean and you can connect with the water. You intentionally connect with the water. You ask it, cleanse me, cleanse whatever impurities, and you allow the ocean to cleanse you. And you can actually have an energetic exchange with nature. And this is what's so fascinating and something that I find so amazing. And I'm so grateful to have found through my journey of exploring Wicca. Now, I'm not Wiccan, but that is a foundation that I have when it comes to exploring the occult realm. I began exploring Wicca, and Wicca is a very nature and elemental based practice. And what this does is that by connecting with nature, you get to experience divinity firsthand. Okay? So, mind you, I was brought up as a Catholic, and going to church, praying, and following the whole routine just didn't cut it for me. I felt empty. And at the age of 16, I was yearning for a connection with divinity. And sure enough, I got the call. I got the call, and I found the light beneath the full moon, ladies and gents. And I've been on the path ever since. I mean, I've been practicing occult sciences for over half my life. Now, back to this lunar energy. What you want to do is that you intentionally want to connect with it. You want to intentionally affiliate yourself with it. So it's a highly potent approach to use the lunar cycles. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to build something, if you want to build up energy, you use the waxing moon. All right, if you want to begin the process of releasing something from your life, you use the waning moon. If you want to do something in the moment, the full moon is very powerful, ladies and gents. All right, and again, I'm not going to get into practices of manifestation or spell casting using the moon in this video. I'm more so going to equip you with knowledge that will facilitate you in you performing your own ritual in order to invite the lunar energy in order for you to connect with the lunar energy, in order for you to experience this lunar energy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read to you guys something that one of my Patreons wrote me. This young man, he's interested in connecting here with his inner self, essentially, and I gave him this practice. In fact, he's one of the reasons why I'm creating this video, is that he's an inspiration, or he inspired me to do so. Now, let me tell you what this individual wrote. He said, "Brother, there are moments that one experiences that will forever impact and change your life. Last night was one of them. Last night was a full moon. I became one with all the elements, and I can truly say the moon and I became one. I was able to draw the light and the essence of the moon. At one point, my eyes began to tear, but it was beautiful feeling. It was a beautiful feeling and sensation that filled my body, mind, and soul. At certain points, I saw the moon start to move and multiply. And at another instance, I saw a face of a woman within the moon. The whole experience lasted about 30 minutes. I followed your advice and guidelines, and I look forward to experiencing it again. Ladies and gents, it's quite simple. It's quite simple. You don't have to get too intricate when drawing down lunar energy. Okay, and I'm gonna equip you with the knowledge necessary in the full video. All right, right now I'm just introducing you or warming you up. I'm warming you up to what I'm about to get into. All right, but we're gonna get into the practical side of it. Right now, I just want to tell you about the benefits of it. So the benefits essentially is that you cultivate your intuitive abilities. If you want to build or start developing your psychic abilities, you have to be intentional about it, ladies and gents. You can't just wish upon a star. You have to do the fucking work. What is the work? Going out there, going out in nature, seeking to connect, connecting with your deeper self, meditating, learning how to access deeper states of mind. This is the work, ladies and gents. All right? We all have these abilities. Some of you guys are amazed at my tarot reading abilities, at my intuitive abilities. I have many clients that I get feedback on, and I can really say that I can touch people's lives. Not only touch people's lives, but I can really change people's lives. And it's not necessarily me, it's simply the knowledge that I have gained through my work, through going out there, performing rituals, tapping into my inner self. And what I want to tell you with this is essentially that you can do the same. So if you think that I have some sort of intuitive ability because I read tarot cards, believe me, it expands way far beyond just reading tarot and what you see on YouTube. Okay? And what I'm seeking to convey is that you guys could do the same thing. You guys, some of you guys can even be way stronger and way more keen to the spiritual realm than myself. You may not even know it. All right? So this is why I'm creating this video, because I want to motivate you guys to go explore yourselves, to unravel yourselves. What's another benefit? Is that you begin to learn how to pay attention to the cues, to the subtle messages of the spiritual realm. When you start to immerse yourself intentionally in this mystical realm, your reality begins to transform, ladies and gents. I literally live in a mystical reality. Now, I can tell people about what I experience on a daily basis, and these people will think that I'm fucking crazy. And why? Because typically the normal human being is caught up in the system, in the hamster wheel. They wake up, they go to work, they worry about whatever their hobbies, this and that. They're all consumed by their external reality. And to be frank, it's not that common, at least for me, it's not that common to find individuals that dive deep within themselves. It's a lot more common that I meet people that are more consumed with their external reality than their internal reality. And this is the beautiful thing about spirituality, is that it compels you to explore inwardly. You don't go out exploring outwardly. Yes, you do implement practices, and curious souls like myself want to see magic manifest before you. That's why we're attracted to the left-hand path. That's why we're attracted to occult science. Because hearing about it isn't enough. We have to feel it. We have to touch it. And it's there. And once you experience it, you no longer have to manifest it. I can talk to you about manifesting angels before you, manifesting demons, speaking to the dead, so on and so forth. We literally live in a vast universe, ladies and gents, that is very intimidating to many, but so amazing. And I want to tell you guys something. We humans have a divine seed within us. There's nothing, you have nothing to fear. All right? We've been told to be fearful of the spiritual realm. We've been told to be fearful of demons. We've been told to be fearful of dead spirits. But we are giants in the spiritual realm, ladies and gents. So if you're about this path and you take it serious, do not be fearful. Trust in your divine self, ladies and gents. All right? Because when shit hits the fan, that divine light within you is what's going to get you out of it. And I've been in some very sketchy predicaments where I perform rituals, I open up portals. Next thing you know, I got something fucking touching me, And it's okay at first, but then things get weird. Things get weird, or maybe I go into sleep paralysis and there's some fucking entity choking me, or just some fucking crazy shit. I always repose upon the divine creator. The divine creator is not a fucking wizard with a white beard in the clouds. It's something ineffable, incomprehensible. It's the creator of the light and the dark. Don't think that don't think that the creator of the universe is all light and dark. I mean, love and light. No, the divine creator created chaos, destruction, pain, all of it, as well as ascension, love, happiness, and all. So, what I'm simply getting at, ladies and gents, is that you have a divine seed within you and you have nothing to fear when it comes to exploring spirituality. I understand that, especially in the Western world, we have a high influence of, Christian base. And Christianity highly prohibits these type of things. They tell you anything that doesn't have to do with the fucking church or Jesus is of Satan. Tarot cards, you best not even touch that, because you're going to burn in hell. Your God approves of your soul burning to a fucking crisp for eternity if you speak to a dead human soul. Ladies and gents, I hope that this compels you to think for yourself. And if you choose not to think for yourself, then you know what? The church was created for you. The church was created for those that rightfully admit that I am a sheep and Jesus is my shepherd. If you are a sheep, by all means. But if you seek to liberate yourself, if you seek to find the hidden wisdom of the universe within yourself, then heed this message. Moving along. So, when performing this ritual, the idea of casting a magical circle around you, what this does, it doesn't necessarily protect you. It's not a magical circle of protection. It's more so a magical circle of concentration. You're creating a space, a sacred space, where you're concentrating your magical work, where you're concentrating your magical operation. And what you essentially do when you're casting this circle, I personally, what I did, I'm going to give you an example. I would do these rituals in the beach. So I would drag my foot and create a massive circle, bigger than what's advised. This massive fucking circle. Mind you, this is, my approach was chaos magic, which essentially is a free-for-all. Do what feels right. It's not, a rigid magical form. It's more so go with what resonates with you. Nevertheless, that's really the core essence of energy. It's absolutely malleable to the practitioner's will. Okay? It's not like you have to go by a user guide manual. So, with that said, energy molds to your will. Okay? So take what resonates. You don't have to apply what I'm telling you specifically, but take what resonates. So what I would do is I would drag my foot and create a circle without breaking or lifting my foot. And sure enough, here I was hopping around, creating a circle. And what I would do essentially is that I would face every corner of the world. So I would face the West. I'm from California, and I would do these rituals on the beach. So obviously the West Coast, the beaches, the Pacific's on the west side. So to me, the water element, I associated it with the West. And I started with the West. I would face the ocean, and I would draw a massive pentagram with my finger using my visualization tools, right? My imagination. And you got to consider that the mind cannot differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. So use your imagination as your greatest tool, okay? Think about it like this. You can have a perverted thought and you can arouse yourself sexually. Doesn't mean that somebody's in front of you and someone's turning you on. No, this is a product of your imagination. You could think about savoring delicious food and your stomach will start growling. This food is not even around. You don't even smell anything, but it's the power of your imagination that is causing an effect within your inner state. Same thing when working magic. You use your imagination to move the energy. All right? So I would draw a massive pentagram, or massive star rather, and I would call upon the element of water, right? So what this does essentially is that it grounds you. Let me talk to you about the pentagram. It's a 5-pointed star. In fact, I have it right here. I hope you guys could see it. So a 5-pointed star. We got the 4 elements. The 4 elements exist within the universe, right? We got planets made up of gas, which is air. We got planets made up of liquid, which is water, our blood and water within the body, or the oxygen, right? The air. And then we have stones, which are bones and skin. Then we have fire, which is like the sun or the electricity within us. The entire universe is constructed by these elements, right? The physical universe, at least. And what the top star or the top point signifies is the conscious, right? So everything, the 4 elements, is under the conscious. If you look at an individual, you spread his legs and arms, he'll take the form of he'll make a figure of a star essentially. And this is what it basically represents. As above, so below. So everything's a reflection of the same creation. Just as the outer universe is created by the same elements and ruled by the consciousness, the universal consciousness, in the microcosm, in our little reality, it's the same shit. It's the same thing. The consciousness rules these elements. All right? So what you would do essentially, what I would do is that I would face the water. I would face the water and I would call upon the water. I would say something like this. I call upon the element of water to facilitate me in keeping emotional tranquility. And as I'm saying this, I am feeling water. I am hearing water. I am suffused by the element of water. And as this is a product of my imagination, I'm using my mind to entrance myself into this. I am literally having a psychological effect on my emotional state. I am literally putting myself in a tranquil emotional state using the intelligence or the essence of what I know water is. Moving along, I would then walk clockwise, because we associate clockwise as progressive, right? So I would then move to the north. I call upon the element of earth to ground me and assist me in my magical work. And I would feel my stability. I would feel my feet dug into the dirt, into the sand, and I would feel sturdy. I would feel the energy of the earth. And I would continue to walk around, walk to the east. I call upon the element of air to clear my mind and bring focus to my will. Mental clarity, sharp attention. I would then go to the south and I would do the same thing. I would draw a pentagram saying the same thing. I call upon the element of fire to infuse me with its passion and vitality. And I would just feel not enraged, but invigorated. And that's when I was ready. Okay. My circle was sealed and I would sit right in the middle of the circle. And all I would do was meditate. That's it. That's how simple or complicated this ritual is. You're basically using these different incantations. I'm going to give you another incantation that I use that would attune me before as I'm building up to the ritual. I'm going to give that to you in just a moment. As above, so below. I am the spirit that brings the change desired with the power and magic that lies within me. But essentially, that you use these words, these visualizations, to attune your energetic self, your inner self, to what you're about to do. So I would sit in the middle of the circle, I would close my eyes, and I would feel and see the beaming light of the moon upon me, and I would just simply implore it. You could call it moon, you could call it goddess, my dear goddess, and that's what I would call it. I said, my dear goddess, I ask you to bless me, I ask you to cleanse me, I ask you to fill me with your power. And I would just sit there silently. I wouldn't get distracted. I would be focused. Mind you, this is why a ritual is so potent because you're concentrating. You're not just in your fucking kitchen and say, hey moon, come on, give me some energy. No, you're closing yourself off from the entire fucking world. And your world is this big, it's concentrated. And your consciousness is completely immersed in what you are doing. And that's why magic is so powerful. Because you're using psychological tactics, physical tools, visualization tools to get you into that state of focus where you can actually have an effect on your physical reality through pure will. Okay? So, essentially, I would implore the moon, I would implore the goddess to fill me with its light, to fill me, to cleanse me, to ground me. And ladies and gents, this energetic exchange is something that you need to experience for yourself. All right, I can tell you about what I felt. I read you what my Patreon wrote. Mind you, this dude just did this ritual a day or two ago. All right. So with that said, ladies and gents, it's really that simple. Okay. If you're looking at performing this ritual, look into it. Google, do your research on drawing down the moon, and I urge you to take from different sources and just take what you resonate with and create your own personal ritual with it. You don't have to get into the intricacies of sigils or nothing like that. Just be aware when the moon is. Start to attune yourself to what you're about to do days prior, so that when the full moon comes, you have it planned out. You go to your sacred space, go out in nature if possible. You don't have to do it in nature. You could do it in indoors, but do so. Create your magical circle, drawing in the intelligence, invoking the intelligence of the elements, of the earth, of this reality, of the physical reality, for your own personal power, for your own groundedness, for your own clarity, for your own vitality, for the concentration of your being. And all you're doing essentially is asking for blessings. All you're doing is asking for cleansings, for balance, for inner purity. And you will experience it. And aside from possibly having this revolutionary experience, you're going to be developing your intuition. You're going to be cultivating your energetic sensitivity. My battery died. Anyways, as I was saying, I highly recommend beginners or those curious of exploring the occult to try this ritual out for yourselves. Do your ritual. Experiment. Try this for yourself. Do not be fearful that you're selling your soul to the devil by seeking to connect with celestial forces. Okay? If you're really inclined towards exploring the occult, you have to face your shadows. The shadows that lie within you, which induce fear, which make you think that you're going to burn to a crisp for eternity by opening up these doors and seeking to connect with divinity. So, ladies and gents, I hope you take something of value from this. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. Okay? I'll see you guys next time.